Alright, good morning once again, everyone. This is the Assistant Chief Forecaster coming back here once again. I'm here to give you guys a new tornado warning that is in effect for Polk County, which is PLLK, and also Scott County here. This is going to go for the Waldron area. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about this new tornado warning real quickly here. So, National Weather Service in Little Rock has issued a tornado warning for northwestern Polk County, PLLK, and western Arkansas, and western Scott County, and western Arkansas until 7 o'clock this morning. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Mountain Fork, or 15 miles northwest of Mena, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour here, folks. So before, it's a new tornado warning for Polk County, which is PLLK in western Arkansas, and also western Scott County and western Arkansas until 7 o'clock this morning here. So there's the area of rotation here. As you can see, there's the other severe thunderstorm warnings over here along the Arkansas-Oklahoma border at this point here. But you can see that's where your area of rotation is at this point. We're going to go ahead and go over to our rotation indicator, and I'm going to take the warnings off for just a second here. I'm going to take the severe thunderstorm warnings off for just a moment. We're going to focus on the area of rotation. So once again, similar to what we got through dealing with up there in northwestern Arkansas, this is the area of rotation here, and this is moving to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour, okay? So this is going to move towards Mansfield, also just to the northwest of Waldron. But Waldron, I would go ahead and take your tornado precautions in this area, and then this is going to move towards Boonville, and then up towards Paris at some point down the road here, just a little bit outside of 7:30 time frame, then may make a run for Interstate 40 up here in western Arkansas. But if you know anyone in Waldron, let's pull up some roads while we're at it. The Waldron area, we're talking Highway 71 in this area here. They need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Also, Highway 270, that's in northern Polk County, need to be taking their tornado precautions as well. Remember, get away from the windows, put as many walls to you and the outside as possible, get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. Folks, I'm going to tell you this. During tornado warnings, we are not going to answer your specific county or city questions. If you need that information, take a look at the top part of this page here, folks, okay? Whenever there's a tornado warning, we're not going to answer those questions here. If you need that information, take a look on the page here, guys. Our attention is going to go straight to these tornado warnings here. So, to repeat this before here, this is a tornado warning for Polk County, POLK in western Arkansas, and Scott County in western Arkansas until 7 o'clock here. A severe thunderstorm kept producing a tornado located near Mountain Fork, or 15 miles northwest of Mena, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour here. So there's the area of rotation, literally right on the border of Oklahoma and Arkansas. As you can see, it's had this sustained rotation for a good while as it was coming out of eastern Oklahoma, and it's now beginning to move into western Arkansas here. So there's the warning here. There's new warning until 7 o'clock this morning here. That's going to go for western Scott County over here. So 7-4, if you know anybody in this area, they do need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately in this area. Get away from windows, put as many walls to you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately in this area. Now, I'm getting a lot of folks wondering about the Mena area. I know there's a lot of sirens that are probably going off in the Mena area right now. I'll tell you guys, in Mena, you are good to go, okay? This is going to stay north and west of Mena at this point, okay? So just keep that in mind here. If you're watching us from Mena or Polk County right now, you should be good to go here in terms of this storm. This is moving quickly into Scott County. Now, if you know anyone in Waldron or in Mansfield, they do need to be taking their tornado precautions. That's getting away from the windows. That's getting away from the exterior walls, getting to the lowest, more central portion of your home. If you have a bicycle helmet or something to protect your head, be sure to do that while you're taking your tornado precaution here in this area. Now, there's a lot of people asking about other parts of the state. So before, guys, when there's a tornado warning, this is where our attention is going to be at this point, guys. If you need that information, take a look at the page. All the information is going to be there. As a matter of fact, if you take a look more than 5 seconds at the pinned top of the page, there's a timing map that will have all the information you need to know for the entire natural state, guys. So during tornado warnings, this is where our attention is going to be at this time, okay? So as before, this is moving to the northeast, and these storms are moving pretty quickly too. Very, very fast, 55 to 60 mile per hour winds, not only with these storms here, but non-thunderstorm wind gusts. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that here in a little bit once we get past this tornado warning here, guys, because there's a high wind warning for our viewers over there in eastern Arkansas for today here, guys. So a very, very long weather day for us here in Arkansas. We've been talking about it the last couple of days that the potential was there for the potential to see not only severe weather, but the potential of high winds here in Arkansas, just the nature of the system that we're dealing with. So there's the tornado warning right in here, okay? The rotation is literally right on the border of Arkansas and Oklahoma, all right? So similar to what we saw up there in northwestern Arkansas, let's take a look at what's called your correlation coefficient, or your CC. And right now, just based off what I'm seeing, I'm going to take off the severe thunderstorm warning for just a second. Right now, I'm not seeing much in terms of debris, which is really, really good news compared to what we saw earlier in Springfield when we saw that blue area of debris. Up there in northwestern Arkansas, this one's completely different. Not seeing any sort of blue or anything. That means no debris being indicated. But still, you still need to treat this as if it were on the ground, guys. Tornado warning takes place. You want to treat it as if it were on the ground at this point, okay? So, before, I know there's a lot of people asking about Mena. Mena, you are perfectly good to go. But if you know anyone in Waldron up here in Scott County or in Mansfield, they need to be taking their tornado precautions in Mena. I know it's kind of 6 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's getting up. Got to get ready for school, getting ready for work and stuff like that. But you do need to take your tornado precautions immediately if you know anyone in western Scott County at this point here. And this is the only tornado warning in the natural state at this point. We're going to go back over to our radar at this point. You can see there it is right there. There's your area of rotation. There's your storm here right at this point. All these storms up here in northwestern Arkansas, yes, they are producing heavy amounts of rainfall, lightning, strong winds with these storms as well, but they are not severe at this point. The strongest storm at this point is here in western Arkansas where the tornado warning is, and then you have your severe thunderstorm warnings across southeastern Oklahoma down in the northeastern Texas here, guys. So this is the current tornado warning. That's going to go until 7 o'clock this morning. There's the track. Let me see if I can get this up for you guys at this point here. So give me 1 second. I'm going to switch this back over. So you guys can get a track on the storm here. So there it is right through here. Charleston, right around 7:04. 7:04 from Magazine. 7:07 from Branch. Mansfield, right around 6:42 this morning. So you have about 20 minutes in the Mansfield area here, guys. And in the Boonville area, we're talking right around 7 o'clock here. So this is what we got going at this point. And I know a lot of people are kind of wondering about going to school and stuff like that, folks. That is to y'all's discretion. If you want to keep your kids at home today, that'll be a good idea. If you have to go to school, be reminded that schools and those other facilities do have tornado plans, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. If you do send your kids to school today, they do have their tornado plans that they have at those facilities here. So this is the ongoing tornado warning at this point. That's going to go for western Scott County. And then it's going to move up towards Charleston, towards Paris, and then towards Boonville. Now the question is it going to be able to maintain its rotation all the way that far northeast? With it being 6 o'clock in the morning, the limited instability, is really helping us out in terms of keeping the tornado count down a little bit. But the insane shear, the shear that I've been warning you guys about over the last couple of days, is really coming in. And it's really producing these what we call these weak, brief tornadoes first thing this morning, guys. So just kind of keep that in mind here across western Arkansas. There is a tornado watch that goes until 1 p.m. this afternoon here. That goes all the way, points east towards central Arkansas and into east central Arkansas, guys. So this is the current track of the current tornado warning at this point. I'm going to loop radar so you guys can see what we're talking about. So there's the storm coming out of Oklahoma. Good amount of rotation when it was coming out of Oklahoma here. There's the updated tornado warning here. So it's kind of shrunk down from where it was. So it's coming out of Polk County. It's now focused more into west central and central Scott County at this point. As a matter of fact, we can take a look at that for just a second and read you guys the newest information from there. So the tornado warning for northwestern Polk County has been allowed to be canceled. The tornado thunderstorm which prompted a warning has moved out of the warned area, so the warning has been allowed to be canceled. So the tornado watch still continues until 1 o'clock this afternoon here, okay? So The newest one still goes until 7 o'clock this morning. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles north of Queen Wilhelmina State Park, or 16 miles northwest of Mena, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. As I said before, folks, these storms are moving very, very quickly across the area, all right? These storms are not wasting any time. 60 to 65 mile per hour moving storms this morning here. Tornado core size hail with these storms. Radar indicated rotation here. Mansfield, we're talking Morgan Springs, also Liberty, and M Park is going to be the locations impacted with this. So remember, take cover now. Move to a basement, interior room, lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows at all costs, guys. You do not want to be near those exterior walls. You need to be in the lowest, more central portion of your home. If you have a helmet or something to protect your head, that's a really good idea to take with you. If you are in a mobile home or in a vehicle, you need to get out. You need to find a substantial shelter immediately here. Also, the number one thing that we want to stress, not only for us here at Arkansas Weather Watchers, but the National Weather Service is stressing this as well. If a tornado or other severe weather is spotted, please report it to the National Weather Service, either us, National Weather Service, or the local nearest law enforcement agency who will send you a report here. This act may save lives of others in the path of dangerous weather. Please keep that in mind here, guys. If you see or if you spot a tornado, please report that in, okay? But don't risk your life trying to go outside and record it. You're not going to be able to see this one coming, guys. It's rain wrapped. You're not going to be able to see it, guys. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area, okay? So this is north of Polk County, okay? This is in western Scott County at this point here, okay? So this is going to be moving towards Highway 71. So there's the area of rotation. Let's zoom down to this area of rotation at this point, which is southwest of Waldron, southwest of Highway 71 at this point, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. That is insane speed, guys, okay? You do not want to waste any time whenever you're dealing with these storms, guys. You want to take your actions very, very quickly. And that's the one thing I'm going to stress to not only for our folks in western Arkansas, but central and eastern Arkansas as well, for the rest of the natural state. You're listening to us this morning. These tornado warnings ongoing across western Arkansas. These storms are moving 60 to 65 miles per hour, okay? Don't waste time trying to go look at the tornado or anything like that. Don't waste time trying to spot the tornado. You need to take your tornado precautions immediately, guys. I cannot stress that enough. Whenever these warnings go out later on this afternoon, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately, guys. Do not waste time today, guys. These storms are going to be moving 60 to 65 miles per hour here. These storms are not going to be wasting any time at all here. So you can see the rotation that storms in eastern Oklahoma moved into Arkansas, moved into far northwestern Polk County, and now it's moving into Scott County at this point here, okay? Radar is going to tell you that this is very weak rotation at this point. But you're going to have to watch it because everything's going to be in place today for those weak, brief, spin-up tornadoes today, okay? So keep that in mind. Any sort of rotation, notice what's going on. This is our second tornado warning of the morning within the last hour, hour and a half, okay? So what's going on is National Weather Service are seeing rotation. They're seeing it being consistent, and they're going with tornado warning straight out of the gate, okay? They're not wasting any time with any severe thunderstorm warnings or anything like that. They're going straight tornado warnings, all right? So keep that in mind for our folks in central Arkansas and eastern Arkansas. Sustained rotation, that means it's going to produce a tornado, or it's going to have the potential of producing a tornado. A tornado warning is going to get issued. So tornado warning gets issued today. Take those precautions immediately, guys, okay? If you know anyone that's in a mobile home or in a trailer or anything like that, my best advice is to you to find a friend to kind of stay with for just a day, or spot some local gas stations or some local businesses that you can use for a refuge for any sort of tornado potential, okay? So just keep that in mind for today here, not just for our folks in western Arkansas, but central and eastern Arkansas as well here, okay? So that's the ongoing tornado warning at this point. It's going to go until 7 o'clock this morning here, and it looks like a rain mess on radar here. But let's take a look at our debris indicator here. So first of all, great news. I'm not seeing any sort of indication that this is producing a confirmed tornado, which is great. That means there's no debris being lofted up or anything like that. It's great news. However, you still want to take your tornado precautions immediately. You still want to treat this as if it was producing a tornado. Okay, so this is where the tornado warning is across western Arkansas at this point. This is in far western Arkansas. This is Scott County at this point. Okay, take your tornado precautions immediately in this area. All right. Let's go back to our rotation indicator here. So basically, our rotation indicator is going to be right over here, okay, across western Scott County at this point. All right, this is moving due northeast at 65 miles per hour here. So this is south of Fort Smith or just north of Mena at this point. This is far western Arkansas at this time. All right, so if you know anyone on Highway 71 at this point, that goes from Mansfield down towards Waldron, you need to be taking your tornado precautions and meeting this area here, okay? Remember, get away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately, guys. Now, so far, I know there's a lot of people asking about specific city, counties. Take a look at the page, guys. We're going to have all the information on the page. That way, you're not missing anything here. So, you can definitely see on our rotation indicator here, good amount of inflow, good amount of outflow. That's where your rotation is at this point. This is moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. It's not wasting any time moving northeast. So this is where that potential tornado is. It is just southwest of Waldron, south of Hartford, just to the south, I would say southwest of Mansfield at this point, moving northeast at about 65 miles per hour. So it's going to put a track between Mansfield and the Waldron area over here in Scott County. So just kind of keep that in mind. This is moving very, very quickly here, guys. These are what we're going to have to watch later on this afternoon and this evening. Okay, these weak, brief, spin-up tornadoes that we're going to have to watch along the line that's going to develop later on this morning and into this afternoon here. Okay, but this is what we got at this point. And as you can see what happened, I can take this out, take the severe thunderstorm warnings out for just a second here, and I can show you the actual rotation as it was coming out of Oklahoma, okay? So there's the rotation at this point as it was coming out of Oklahoma. Good amount of rotation. Warrant the tornado warning across the area. Tornado warning still remains in effect up here in Scott County. And it's still exhibiting a good amount of rotation here across the area. So this is moving due northeast up here towards Mansfield. It's going to track between Mansfield and the Waldron area over here in far western Scott County at this point. And it's going to try to make a run for our folks up here along Highway 10 that goes from Boonville over towards Fort Smith at this point, okay? So just kind of watch and see what happens with the storm right now, just based off what I'm seeing on rotation. The rotation is there. It's not as tight as it was when it was in eastern Oklahoma, okay? But still watch the progression of the storm as it pushes out towards north and east here. So right now, with it being 6 o'clock in the morning, the best thing that's happening for us here in Arkansas is that we don't have a crazy ton of instability in place. Okay, we have a great amount of shear in place, but we don't have a lot of instability at this point because it's early in the morning. What's going to happen later on this morning and into later this afternoon is we're going to start getting a good amount of instability across central and eastern Arkansas, and that's the area of highest concern at this point, okay? But this is what I was telling you guys over here in western Arkansas, that yes, it's a very low-end threat, but you still would have to watch it very closely over here in western Arkansas here. And this is a prime example of what we're talking about. So high shear, low instability over here to its finest here. And just based off what I'm seeing with the latest scans, pretty good news over here in western Scott County. This rotation is starting to become more broad out. This is what you want to see to get rid of a tornado warning here. You want this rotation not to look as tight as it was in eastern Oklahoma, but you want it to kind of start broadening out, because you will substitute the tornado threat for the damaging wind threat as it's pushing into western Scott County at this point here, guys. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. But that tornado warning still remains in effect until 7 o'clock this morning here. As a matter of fact, they may end up putting out a severe thunderstorm warning to kind of go in place for this tornado warning here. Because you can see, let's take this back and show you guys what we were talking about here. Okay, so this was when it was coming out of Oklahoma. Okay, good amount of rotation here. As you can see, your red and green couplet right over here. Okay, and then as it was moving into Scott County, western Scott County, good amount of rotation at this point. And now notice what's going on with the rotation, how it's kind of flattening out. All right, This is what we're talking about those weak brief spin-ups. They're not going to be sustained, especially first thing in the morning, because you don't have a lot of instability in place here, okay? But the damaging wind threat will still be there with this storm here, okay? So something we're going to keep a very, very close eye on here. I do foresee probably an extension or either the tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning to kind of be in place from this particular storm as it's moving out of Scott County at this point here. Now let's zoom this out and show you guys what's going on statewide here, because I was planning on doing a the board first thing this morning, guys, so that's basically kind of ruined the live blog idea here, but I wanted to give you guys kind of a brief update on what's going on. So we do have that tornado warning across western Arkansas at this point, okay? This is going to go until 7 o'clock this morning. There is now a tornado watch that goes from much of Arkansas here. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for you guys here so you guys can see what I'm talking about, alright? This is the tornado watch. The area is highlighted in yellow. That's the tornado watch that goes until 1 p.m. this afternoon. So tornado warning over here in western Arkansas. You have a severe thunderstorm warning now for up here in northwestern and north central Arkansas, which is going to go for Boone County until 6:45, mainly for the potential 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts up there in that storm up there just north of Harrison. But you do have a tornado warning over here in western Arkansas. Rotation not as intense as it was when it was coming out of eastern Oklahoma. So that's pretty good news across the board here. Okay, give me 1 second.